All right, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Tireless Golem here with another video, and it's no secret that today they came out with a new video, Pokemon Pocket, and they are announcing the set release of Extradimensional Crisis, which is code A3A on May 29th, which is in a few days. There's also some drop events, some wonder picks, and so we're going to go ahead and talk about all of that today. This is coming from one of the websites, I think it's game8.co. Go ahead and check them out. They have a lot of good stuff. This is just some of the material, the information that is being put out from Pokemon, the company. So as you know, they're going to be featuring the Ultra Beast in this set, which is the set of really powerful Pokemon that you can see in like Sun and Moon Gen 7 games. They're going to have the Ultra Necrozma, which is going to be a promo card for the drop event. So look out for that. That's definitely going to be pretty interesting. We're going to talk about the revealed Pokemon cards that they put out in the video. We're going to start with Buzzwole EX. This is a very strong card. It's a basic leaf or grass type Pokemon. It's got 140 HP and it's got the Ultra Beast symbol at the top right here. This is a little logo that some cards are going to interact with. Its first ability, Punch, is not the best, but the second ability, Big Beat, deals 120 damage for 3 energy. But the downside is that you can only use it, during your next turn you can't really use it. So every other turn you're going to get to use this move. It's not the best, but because it is a basic, you don't have to use rare candy. You don't have to have any setup. You just plop it on the battlefield and it starts doing its thing. Also, it's a grass type, which has very good synergy with things like Leafeon EX, cards that heal grass types. There's a lot of heal spells that let you do that. So a lot of good support for grass in this game. Buzzwole EX, certainly something to consider playing. Nihilego, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's got only 70 HP, so not a very strong Ultra Beast, but an Ultra Beast nonetheless. It's got more poison, which is a static ability. Your opponent's active Pokemon takes plus 10 damage from being poisoned. I use the phrase static. That's just kind of something we use in like Magic terms, or basically most card games I think use that phrase. Hopefully I'm using it right here. But basically what this does is anytime your opponent's Pokemon in the active spot is poisoned, instead of taking 10 damage, they'll take 20 damage. Its actual move, New Wave, is 30 damage for 2 energy, but really it's 50 damage because your opponent's active Pokemon is going to be poisoned, so they're going to take 20 damage from poison, and then they're going to take 20 damage every turn as long as they're poisoned. So very strong card, only 1 retreat energy. So the fact that it's dark, they're going to see a lot of dark type Ultra Beasts in this set. So dark is definitely going to get a lot of support. Guzzlord EX, speaking of dark, this is 170 HP. I don't know if this is the highest HP that we've seen for a basic EX, but this is definitely up there. And as you know, Guzzlord in the games has a lot of HP as well. The actual abilities it has, the moves, are pretty strong. Grindcore, 30 damage for 2 basic energy. Flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, discard a random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. So this is a free Team Rocket Grunt, basically, for 2 energy. Pretty strong. Enables like your opponent's active Pokemon to get locked in if they have a high retreat cost. It also deals damage while you're doing this, so it's pretty strong. And once you get to 4 energy, you can use Tyrannical Hole, which is just 120 damage with no downside, no extra abilities. So I guess the one thing about this card is it has 4 energy retreat cost, which is, that's going to be a little bit tough if you want to retreat it. But overall, I think this is a pretty decent card. It's probably going to see a lot of play, especially with alongside Darkrai EX. I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing Dark Pokemon get played a lot. Moving on to Celesteela, this is a colorless 120 HP Ultra Beast with Ultra Thrusters. Once during your turn, you may switch your active Ultra Beast with one of your benched Ultra Beasts. So very similar to the Solgalio's ability, where you get to just switch in for, without having any extra costs. I can see this being played. It has 100 damage for 3 whatever color energy you want. I don't know how to pronounce that. Moon Baton? Flip a coin. If tails, this attack does nothing. So It's kind of similar to Snorlax, but honestly, this is a very strong card. And you're probably going to want to play this if you're a dedicated Ultra Beast deck, which I'm almost positive that Ultra Beast is going to be like a tier 1 deck next month. I would not be surprised. It seems like every time they come out with a new set, they come out with like a new mechanic that just turns the game over its head. Circuitry, another Ultra Beast for 100 HP. It has 60 damage for 3 energy. I'm just going to read it what it does here. Deals 60 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Its retreat cost is 2, and its weakness is fighting. So this is also, you know, decent card. I think it's a fine card. I mean, it's basic, so if it gets knocked out, you're only going to lose 1 point. But as you see later on, you're going to see a trainer that synergizes with Ultra Beasts and is probably going to make this card better than it looks. Kartana, 1 grass energy, 40 damage. Reminds me of Farfetch'd in a way. Now, it does only have 60 HP, but it only has 1 retreat cost, so it's a fair Pokemon. I would have thought that Kartana would be an EX or maybe a much stronger Pokemon, but this is fine either way. I mean, 40 damage for 1 energy is still pretty strong. Pheromosa, also similar to the other one, similar to Kartana, it's only 1 energy, deals 20 damage, and also 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Does have more HP than Kartana. I do have to compare these to each other because they are very similar. But this is also a pretty decent card. Again, I would have thought that Kartana and Pheromosa would be EXs since they are relatively strong in the actual game, the video game. But I would say that, you know, grass types are going to see play in the future. These are going to allow, you know, together with Buzzwole, you know, you might see some Ultra Beast grass type synergies. Moving on to Naganadel. Did I say that right? Yeah, Naganadel. 100 HP, retreat cost 2, deals 40 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. So, yeah, it's pretty strong, but it is a stage 1. And so, yeah, pretty decent card. It's another Ultra Beast that will synergize with other Ultra Beasts. Stakataka, you can kind of see this one, 110 HP. 40 damage for 2 energy during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon takes less than 20 damage from attacks, but it does have a retreat cost of 3. I don't think this one's going to see as much play, but I could be wrong, to be honest with you, because you never know what sees play anymore. Blacephalon, so this is going to be a controversial card. I can tell it's got 100 HP, and it does 130 damage as a basic for 3 fire energy, or 2 fire energy and 1 colorless, but it deals 70 damage to itself. This is kind of this kind of alludes to one of the moves that Blacephalon has in the video games, if you don't already know. So it's known for having an attack that deals a lot of damage, but also deals damage to itself. So I think this is going to be a controversial card. I think people are going to try it out and they're going to realize that it's bad, or maybe some people will say that it's insane. I'm going to be very interested to see what people think of Blacephalon coming in to this new meta. Tapu Koko EX. Now, I am looking at this card and I'm saying to myself, wow, we've come a long way from Pikachu EX from the original Genetic Apex, because Pikachu EX deals 90 damage on turn 2. Tapu Koko EX also does 90 damage on turn 2 with its first move, Plasma Hurricane. But I think this is just, 90 damage, plus you don't have to have any benched Pokemon to deal 90 damage. Plus that first ability is just, get a free electric energy. Now, electric types are known for getting free energy from the energy zone, as you know, with Magnezone and whatnot. But this is a very strong card. I wouldn't be surprised if this, together with the new card we're going to find out, Zeraora, I think there's going to be a lot of electric types that are going to see play. Plus Oricorio, the electric type, is going to also be very good. Type Null, another kind of 40 damage for 1 energy type Pokemon. Basic, 80 HP is a lot for a basic. And you have to flip a coin to get that 40 damage. So, decent card, 2 retreat cost. Alolan Diglett, 1 retreat cost, 40 damage, flip a coin. If tails, this attack does nothing. Not much to say here. Zeraora is the one that I was telling you about before. it seems like a pretty good card. In fact, if you don't already know, I have an Arceus deck, and I made a video about it earlier where you end the turn with Giratina EX turn 1, and then next turn you don that energy onto your Arceus to deal like 130 damage on turn 2, assuming that you are going second. Zeraora kind of does the same thing, except it's a one-time use for your first turn. And, you know, if I just put Zeraora in the bench and then just have Arceus out in front, I can just don that electric type energy. Plus, I don't end the turn with Giratina. I can do other stuff too. Like, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because you can't really do anything anyway. But anyway, it's a pretty strong card. I'm going to be very interested to see how Zeraora plays in the meta. Shiinotic, Illuminate for 90 HP. Once during your turn, you may put a random Pokemon from your deck into your hand. It's a stage 1 though, so even though it is an interesting, strong ability, you do have to evolve it. Rowlet is, you know, not much to say here. Flip 3 coins. This deck does 10 damage for each heads, so it has the ability to do 30 damage. And then, of course, Ultra Necrozma, very strong card. I'm just going to read what it says here. We don't know the weaknesses or the retreat cost, but it has 150 HP. It is a basic, which I think is pretty strong. For 3, colorless energy deals 60 damage. Not much to say here. But for 4 energy, it's 2 psychic. You can deal 120 damage. Discard the top 5 cards of each player's deck. Now, I think this is interesting because you could have a psychic dedicated deck with like Giratina, start donning away some of those Giratina energy onto Ultra Necrozma to use Shoegaze. I think that's going to be a pretty strong thing to do. Again, this is a promo card, so you're going to have to find this in the events. I hopefully they make these, you know, readily available outside of the events. But you never know with Pokemon. Sometimes these events just pop up and they don't come back. So make the best use of your time here. Poipole is that basic Ultra Beast. Not much to say here. It has a 2-step, which is flip 2 coins. The attack does 20 damage for each heads. All right, so moving on to the trainer. This is the one I was just talking about earlier in the video. It's Lucamine. You can use this card only if your opponent has gotten at least 1 point. I'm going to show it here, but you can't really read it, so I'm just going to show you the picture here. And then I'm going to read what it says here. So choose one of your Ultra Beasts, attach 2 random energy from your discard pile to that Pokemon. So for those of you who don't know, if your Pokemon gets knocked out, right, you have energy that goes to the discard pile, which you don't really think about that, because when your Pokemon gets knocked out and it goes to the discard pile, I don't think you really see the energy that gets attached, because energy, as far as I'm aware, isn't really considered a card in this game. Energy is just kind of like mana. In like Magic, so it's kind of like a theoretical like blob of energy basically, but your Pokemon have to get knocked out into the graveyard or in the discard pile in this case, and if you had 2 energy on at least one of those Ultra Beasts or Pokemon that got knocked out, you can put those energy back to one of your Ultra Beasts on the battlefield. So this is a very strong card. I think that this could be like a meta, like top tier mechanic. I mean, Ultra Beast, what do you think? Leave a comment down below about what you think about this set. Again, it's A3A. It's the set that comes after Celestial Guardians. I'm going to be very interested to see how this meta plays out with Ultra Beasts. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll post a link to the Pokemon trailer if you haven't seen it already. And thanks for tuning in. I will see you all in the next video.